Hi, I'm John McLaughlin with Silver Creek Outfitters here in Ketchum, Idaho, and I'm going to give you a fishing report here in our valley. We had a great spring, wet weather, good rain. The flows are starting to come down right now. Right now we're getting some nice sunny, warm days. The weather's starting to get more consistent, a little less rain. So it's going to bring out some consistent hatches now. I'll go over all the rivers, but I'm going to start on Silver Creek. We had great brown drakes there this spring. Started right at the opener on May 23rd. Lasted a good week, 2 weeks plus. Great evening fishing for the brown drakes. What surprised a lot of us too was we had great calabatus in the ponds. Big calabatus, size 16s. If you have a float tube and you want to get down on Silver Creek, the calabatus is still going pretty strong. Also bring your PMDs and your betas late morning, 10, 11 o'clock into early afternoon is the best fishing. I recommend signing in at the cabin and walking downriver or upriver or fishing the slough. The PMDs have been really big this spring, size 16, even some in the size 14. So make sure you have really big PMDs. It's been interesting down there. The bugs are big and the hatches have been pretty prolific. If it is quiet, make sure you bring your beetles and your ants. Dropping a little non-weighted pheasant tail can be highly effective off a beetle. Early afternoon is great, and we've also had great evening fishing down on Silver Creek. Bring some small betas, and the PMDs are actually smaller in the evening as well. So a lot of stuff going on down on Silver Creek. It's great fishing. And we're a few weeks out before the tricos, which will get going here in a couple weeks into July. On the big wood, the green drakes are going to be fishing great in the next week or so. So make sure you have plenty of good dries, plenty of green drake nymphs, king prince nymphs work great. Also bring your stonefly nymphs. Big girdle bugs, rubber leg stones will be very effective right now. You can also use attractor patterns. I like yellow stimulators and royal stimulators in about a 10 to 14, and dropping nymphs off those is highly effective. But once again, the big wood's a little high today, but I'd say in the next 3 to 5 days, the big wood's going to start fishing. And you can fish up north if you want to go up above the North Fork, Prairie Creek, Owl Creek, Baker Creek area. They do stock fish up there, so there's great hatchery fish. So any type of attractor up there will work great. And once the big wood does lower some more in the next coming weeks, we'll start to see our caddis come out. And then we'll see the other smaller mayflies that we'll want to be fishing here in the next couple weeks. So get ready for the big wood. It's going to start fishing great here very soon. The Salmon River is a great fishery. We've been floating the Salmon River, taking guided trips out on the Salmon River the last several years. And right now it's starting to fish very well. The fish are just starting to look up as I speak, eating dry flies. They're eating streamers as well, finding some bull trout. The salmon have moved up into the upper river, and that salmon season opened Saturday, June 13th. Right now there's about 40 or 50 plus salmon in the Sawtooth hatchery. We have over 100 salmon in the Pacimmeroy. So the Salmon River are moving up, and what that means too is the rainbow trout and some cutties are also going to move up with them. So we're starting to see some really good fishing. If you have a drift boat or if you'd like to go out on a guided trip, the Salmon River's going to fish great for the next several weeks. Nobody's been fishing to them yet. The flows up there are just under 1,500 CFS. If it drops another couple hundred CFS in the next few days, which it will, great fishing up there. Any royal stimulator, salmon fly, chubby Chernobyl, we have streamers, dolly llamas, drop nymphs off your indicator flies, or just use even smaller size 14 parachute Adams will work great as well. Great fishing up on the salmon. I'd highly recommend getting up there in the next couple weeks. Now let's talk about over in the Copper Basin. We have flows over there that are similar to the Big Wood River. When the Big Wood starts to fish, the Copper Basin starts to fish, and that's just turned over in the last week or so. A little high like the Big Wood, but that's going to fish great real soon. The East Fork and the North Fork, you're going to want to go up upriver into the tributaries to get into the smaller water, the more fishable water. If you're looking down in the main stem below East Fork, it might be a little high right now, but pretty soon that's going to fish great. Same thing up there. Good attractor patterns. You could try some streamers in the deep holes and just cover water. The thing I find up there is the more water you cover, the better you do, and when you find a fish, you'll find a lot of fish. And there's good cutthroat up there. We've had great, nice 16, 18-inch plus cutthroat up there. So that's fishing great. Below the dam, below Mackey on the Big Lost River, unfortunately is still a little high. They bumped the water up to 700 plus and have brought it down to 500. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the South Fork of the Boise. 1600 CFS are the flows right now. It's great for boats. It's difficult for walk and wade. I haven't heard any great reports over there. It's a little bit of a mixed bag depending on who you talk to. We're still waiting for salmon flies to pop over there, and when the salmon flies do go, the fishing will pick up tremendously. Good fishery, very big fish. They can be difficult. Somewhat of a fickle river, I find, but it's a great fishery, and if you got a drift boat, it's a beautiful place to float. I highly recommend the South Fork of the Boise. Before I go today, I just wanted to bring up our local ponds and our kids' fishing classes. We're getting a lot of young kids into fishing, and we'd like to get more out there. We have great local ponds and small tributaries to the Big Wood where we take the kids out and they can go out for 4 or 5 hours, and we have some excellent young guides who love taking the children out. We have Spur Fish Hatchery down on Silver Creek, which is a pond. They stock it, it fishes very well. Come in, we have spin rods and lures if you want to take the kids out and take some worms, do it on their own. Lake Creek and Penny Lake are closer up here on the North Valley. They stock those regularly as well. And Warm Springs Creek and Trail Creek should be fishing well shortly. So we have plenty of options for the young angler out there. So please don't hesitate to give us a call or stop by if your kids are showing some interest in the fly fishing. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you out on the water.